So you guys should know by now that this is the pause symbol. When you see the pause symbol, pause the presentation. If you're new, pause at this point, take whatever notes you need to, then go back into the rest of the presentation. The objective, the student will be able to find mode, medium, mean, and range. This will be done through presentation and classroom activity. So this should all actually be really familiar. It's just the words mode, medium, mean, and range are different than what you guys are used to seeing. Like the middle one, you can find out, not the middle, the one that says mean is actually average. You guys should know how to do average by now. So they just stuff you already know by different names. So in a minute, we're actually going to start. And it should be a pretty short lecture, but first, the numbers, okay? These are the numbers we're going to use numbers that you're going to use to use. This is the numbers we're going to use to find mode, medium, mean, and range. So the numbers we're going to use is 7, 2, 5, 3, 5, 8, 6, 9. So just write those down. In a minute, we're going to find out what we're going to do with it. But we're going to use those numbers. So first, we're going to put all those numbers in order. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them in order, but they're going to be in ascending order, meaning starting from lowest to highest. Descending would be going down. So I did it. It's done for you. 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are all those numbers in ascending order. So now that we have an ascending order, it makes it easier for like mode. Mode, it doesn't matter the order, but it helps you with it because it's the number that appears most often. So mode equals most. And then if you notice, mode and most start with the same letters. But if there's none, like there's none that appears most often, write none. If there's more than write one, write both numbers. So for this one, 5 is the mode because 5 appears most often. Mode and most. So we're going to put that in the bottom left because we're done with that one for now. So mode and most. Median. Median is going to be the middle number. And to remember this, think of the middle of the road, which is also called a median. See, I pointed to the median. Picture I took online from somewhere, the middle of the road, median. So the middle number, let's find the middle number. But you might not always have a middle number. For example, this one has 2 middle numbers because there's 2 right in the middle. So we are to add both those numbers and divide them by 2. So 5 plus 6 equals 11. Half of 11 is 5.5. So that's what happens if there's 2 middle numbers. Mean. As I said before, mean is something that you already know. Mean is average. So average, sorry if you hear the crying baby in the background, average is you add up all the numbers and divide it by how many numbers you had. So 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 9 plus, 8 plus 9 is 45. So that means 45 is us adding all the numbers up, and then there's 8 numbers that we use, so we divide it by 8. So 45 divided by 8 is 5.625. I think of the homework I only go 2 decimal places. You don't really need to go past 2. If you want to go 3, that's fine. So the mean is 5.625. One last one, range. Range is really, 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 really easy, but you have to have them in order, or you can just pull them out. It's the difference between the highest number and the lowest number. So we take the highest number and we put it first. We put minus from the lowest number, we put second, because difference is subtracting. So 9 minus 2 is going to equal 7, so our range is 7. So that's how we do all 4 for mode, medium, mean, and range. So before we start the problem part, if you need to go back to take any notes you need to before you start the little check for understanding activity. So next, here's the problems. We have 3 problems. So take a minute, do all 3. I didn't give you a lot because they do take a little bit of time. I'm going to stop talking for a minute so you guys can pause the video. When you're done, unpause it so you can hear me tell you about the answers. Okay, so here's the answers. If you notice, there's a first one, mode is none because there isn't any that appears most often. Next one, mode is second because, there's 2 of them, 5 and 8, because there are 5 and 8 both appear most often. And the rest are kind of pretty easy. If you notice, actually, one of them, the mean for the middle one, is 5.333, repeating on forever and ever. Just write 5.3 or write the repeating sign, whatever you want to do. But to recap, mode, medium, mean, and range. Not something super different. We've just taken something else that you've already known, like subtraction and difference between, and that we just added new words to it. Like mode, that's nothing new. You guys should know what happens most often. You've heard that before. It's just a new word for it. So again, it's not too hard. I know that there's a few questions, a question on the final that deals with this, and you often hear this in your science classes too. So it's a good thing to know what all these things are. So mode, medium, mean, and range. Please remember those, write those in your notes, because the objective today was the student will be able to find mode, medium, mean, and range. This was to be done through a presentation and classroom activity.